हेलो गाइस, क्या आप लोगों को पता है सोशियोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट में एक डिबेट कंपटीशन ऑर्गेनाइज किया था 20 अक्टूबर को, इंटर डिपार्टमेंटल डिबेट कंपटीशन। और ये डिबेट था ऑनलाइन वर्सेस ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन क्लासेस। सो मैं आज उस डिबेट कंपटीशन का फ्यू क्लिप्स शेयर करूँगी। आप इस वीडियो को देखिए और इस वीडियो से आपको ये फ़ायदा होगा क्योंकि जो जो डिबेटर्स हैं उन लोगों ने अच्छे से रिसर्च करके उन लोगों ने वहाँ पे प्रेजेंट किया था। तो आप भी अगर इस ऑनलाइन वर्सेस ऑफलाइन डिबेट का प्रोस एंड कॉन्स जानना चाहते हैं तो ये वीडियो आपके लिए बहुत हेल्पफुल रहेगा। और इस वीडियो के एंड में आप अपना एक पर्सपेक्टिव भी डेवलप कर पाओगे और होपफुली ये वीडियो आप लोगों के लिए बहुत इन्फॉर्मेटिव रहेगा। सो वीडियो को देखिए और एंजॉय करिए।
Now, there are so many researches in terms of scholarship, if you look at that, which talk about the whole process and practice of online teaching and offline learning and how this has brought a shift, a change in the lives of the teachers also, as well as the students, and apart from that, all the other stakeholders. For instance, parents, for instance, caregivers who are at home, and at the same time there are researchers which talk about the human resource dimension also, how the state is looking at it, right? How the different sectors.
I think many schools are not focusing on these extracurricular activities, so students they have to go for online mode, and for the students like you, I think online classes are equally important because you can pursue many courses parallelly. You can learn many things which you are not getting or not getting the opportunity to learn through offline classes, because you are at this stage where you have to prepare yourself for the competitive examination. You are more concerned about your future career, what you are going to do for earning some money. So I think the single program may not fulfill your requirement. So it is all depends on at which stage of learning you are. And online classes, I believe, are self-learning. You can say self-directed learning. Because if we are forcing the students to learn through online classes, जैसा कि यदुवीर सर ने बताया कि बच्चों ने म्यूट कर दिया है, कैमरा ऑफ कर दिया है, और हम बार बार बोल रहे हैं कैमरा ऑन करो, कैमरा टेक्निकल इश्यूज हैं, तो इट मीन्स वी आर फोर्सिंग देम. सो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस आर सक्सेसफुल when the student they themselves are involved in the learning. They want to learn, right? That's why I favor online. Major part of learning through online mode when they have reached at a particular stage of learning, specifically after the school. So this is my view regarding the online and offline classes. Thank you very much.
As he said that it is more convenient for the students. So in the report it is found that around 35% of the students in the USA are going for the online classes or we say the distance education. But in the report it is also found that from that 35%, 10% of the students were far less than the offline student in the competition. Means it is killing competition for the online students. Now if we come to the India, he said that as my friend said that we are using the projectors, we are using the 3D animations. Yes, I am totally agree with that. We need to enhance. But the thing is, if we are using the projectors, so I will give a small example. In the 12th, we had an experiment of the cyclotron that we cannot perform in the experiment in the lab of the laboratory of the schools, but that can be shown to the students in the through the projector in the 3D animation. Now, as he said that during the pandemic, what was the solution? Because it was the only solution for the offline education. So my dear friend, now I will put some stats in front of you which will prove that online education was not at all the solution. A report published by the Azim Premji Foundation, it said that 60% of the students did not have the remote access. Now coming to the further, one more report which was published by the ICRIE and the Learning Asia, which said that only 20% of the students had access to the online education, and from that 20% too, only 50% were taking the classes. So 90% of students we have left behind. Now coming ahead, one more report was published by the Smiley Education, and it found that 32% of the household, from which each household said that at least one children leave the or dropped the class from the online education. Now this was some stats which prove that the online education was not at all the solution during the pandemic period. Now moving ahead, as I said that all over the globe, around 25% of the people are enrolled in the online courses, or we say distance courses. But from those 25%, the thing is around 17 to 80% are also enrolled in the regular courses. If online education is far better, then why they are going for the regular courses? So with these points, I would like to conclude with some advantages or the key advantages over the offline over the online education. The first thing is the whole kind of development is only possible through the offline education. Whether it is physical, whether it is co-curricular, whether it is mental or social. The students become more social, and they get to know how to live in the society, how to protect themselves in the society. Now also it is more healthier. The main thing which we get is the punctuality, sincerity and the discipline. Because as I gave the example of the waking up, similarly going back to the classes, they don't have such punctuality in the online classes. So
how will you learn the art of interaction, art to represent in front of audience, and how will you learn the art of public speaking if this debate was organized in online mode? And I completely agree with them. If this debate was being organized in the online mode, then the art of public speaking and art of public learning was not going to be able to get transformed in the students who are sitting in front of us. तुलसीदास used to say, कभी विवेक एक नहीं मोरे, सत्य कहूँ लिख कागज कोरे. This art of learning and relating ourselves with the copy, pen and blackboard can never ever be replaced by the online classes. I ask you, Julie, you all are esteemed professors of such a big central university of North India. How do you like? Case 1, you are sitting in front of your computer, all your students muted, or their cameras are muted. You don't yourself know what your students are doing. And case 2, when all your students and future of this country are sitting in front of you, discussing doubts with you, and after the class they are running behind you in your office, discussing doubts in your office also. Which case you like? I asked audience sitting in front of me, which case you like? Case 1, your teacher is teaching himself alone, no emotional connect in the Google Meet and Zoom. And case 2, when you are sitting in front of your class and discussing with your teacher, when you don't understand point number 6, you stand up in your seat and ask your teacher, I don't understand point number 6. Just after the class, you run in his office and ask your personal doubts and get the resolution of it. I asked a student sitting in front of me, which method is actually shaping the future of this country. Yesterday I was reading an interview of 5 professors from Harvard University, you can just search upon it. They were telling what type of chalk they use on their blackboard while they teach mathematics. Are you able to understand the love of those professors with the chalk and blackboard that they are having? One of them was telling, I use the chalk that is being imported from Japan. I use the chalk that is being imported from Germany. So are we disrespecting the knowledge of those professors by comparing this online class with offline class? Respected jury, I would like to point out one very, very important point here that none of us are discussing actually. And dear listeners, no matter whether you are in favor of this topic or against, kindly listen to this point. The biggest disadvantage of this online class is that girls from the villages, tier 3 towns, have been abandoned to study due to this online class. They were already tied to their home cooking, washing utensils, and due to this online mode of education, the only reason to get out of their house was also abandoned. This is one of the biggest reasons that I am against this online class. You go to villages, you go to tier 3 towns, you will understand the reason what offline schooling was actually giving to girls. That was the only reason to step out of their home, to step out of that cooking area, that utensil area, and getting out of that, and they were actually going to school to learn, to get educated and rise up in their future. मिर्जा गालिब यूज्ड टू से, किश्ती को भंवर में गिरने दे, किश्ती को भंवर में गिरने दे, मौजों की थपेड़े सहने दे, जिंदों में अगर जीना है तुझे तूफान की हलचल रहने दे। धारा के मुखातिब बहना क्या तौहीन दस्तबाजू है, परवरते खुदा किश्ती को धारा के मुखातिब बहने दे। Let the education flow, it actually deserves to flow. It deserves to flow by teacher and student sitting together, taking out the problems and resolving them together. That is the real motive of this education. Times Now survey of 2021 after COVID says that 93% of medical students, 72% of lawyers, 73% of engineers and 62% of political science students do not want to attend online classes. They say that these online classes have made us mentally, physically, emotionally disabled. Not only in the real life but also in the competitive world also. One interview with a very esteemed professor from Indian Statistical Institute, I myself a fellowship holder from ISRO, he says that this online class has made the weak student weaker and brilliant student, it has reduced the self-confidence of the brilliant students also. Now, Rabindranath Tagore used to say that there is a very beautiful relationship with a pen, a copy, a blackboard, a teacher standing in the class and the student sitting. The national anthem of India contains few lines regarding this, which I don't know how many of you have read. पतन अभ्युदय बंधुर पंथा युग युग धावत यात्री, हे चिरसारथी तब यह चक्रे मुख रथि पथ दिन रात्रि, दारुण विभय माझे तब संखाधुनि भाजे, दुख संकट यह दाता, जनगण पथ परिचायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता. So students who have actually courage to discuss doubts with their teachers in the physical form are the ones who are going to make the future of this country. And especially for a country like India, which had almost zero penetration of tablets, laptops, bandwidths, mobile phones in tier 3 towns and villages, it's very important that we keep following the Guru Shishya Parampara that we are having. We are the leaders of Guru Shishya Parampara in the offline mode. We follow the Guru Shishya Parampara. Madhuryam vachane smitam cha vadane divyadaya netrayo. Kartavye paramarthamev satatam ratrau diva kevalam. चित्ते ध्यानम अखंडितम रघुपते यशो दिवा केवलम तस्मै श्री रणछोड़दास गुरुवे गुरुवे सदा वंदनम. We are the leaders of Guru Shishya Parampara and we are discussing how to abolish these offline classes. At end, I would like to say that these online classes are the prime example of making the already unequal society more unequal. Offline classes have simple formula: learn together, compete together and grow together. What about online classes? They are making the already unequal society more unequal. At end of my debate, I would like to leave all my dear listeners with few lines of Jaishankar Prasad. मुश्किलों से हार जाना आसान होता है, हर पल जिंदगी का इम्तिहान होता है, डरने वालों को कुछ नहीं मिलता जिंदगी में और लड़ने वालों के कदमों में जहां होता है. जय हिंद.
न भात भाज्यम न च भारकारी व्यय कृते वर्धते एव नित्यम विद्याधनम सर्वधनम प्रधानम. विद्याधनम सर्वधनम, because it helps the students to continue their education, otherwise their 1 year of their crucial 1 year would be wasted. Now moving forward, online education, so students can get benefit from it. So here both are benefiting. Student is also benefiting because he is getting quality education, and teacher is also benefiting because he is able to deliver his content to the lots of people. So this is the power of online education. Friends, there is a Indian philosophy that Esam na vidya na tapo na dhanam, jnanam na vidya na. But online education is a complementary to offline education. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
ऑनलाइन क्लासेस का बेसिकली फायदा ये है कि इट इज एनी टाइम एनीवेयर टू एनीवन. यू कैन एक्सेस इट एनी टाइम व्हेन यू वांट. इंडिया एक विकासशील देश है, अभी विकसित नहीं हुआ है. भारत एक ऐसा देश है जहाँ पे समाज में अभी भी रूढ़िवादी अवधारणाएं हैं, जहाँ पे लड़कियों को माँ बाप बाहर पढ़ने नहीं भेजते हैं और इस कारण उनकी पढ़ाई बहुत ज़्यादा रुक जाती है. 2018 की ASE इंडिया में 40% गर्ल स्टूडेंट 15 से 18 साल की एज के बीच की लड़कियां स्कूल नहीं जाती है और उसका रीजन जो मेनली है वो जानकर आप शॉक हो जाएंगे. 65% ऑफ देम डोंट गो स्कूल बिकॉज ऑफ द हाउसहोल्ड वर्क. अगर ऑनलाइन क्लासेस की सुविधा उन्हें दी जाए तो वो घर के काम के बीच में भी क्लासेस दे सकती हैं, घर के काम से फ्री होके भी क्लासेस दे सकती हैं। जो लोग जॉब करते हैं, you are working, if you want to add a new skill to your course, if you want to add a new skill to yourself, if you want to learn a new course, then you can't do it because offline classes की टाइमिंग के दौरान आपकी टाइमिंग मैच नहीं करेंगी, बट ऑनलाइन क्लासेस की हेल्प से आप कोई भी नया कोर्स अवेल कर सकते हैं। जो लोग डिफरेंटली एबल्ड हैं उनके लिए कहीं भी स्कूल में जाना, यूनिवर्सिटी में जाना, आप समझ सकते हैं कि कितनी प्रॉब्लम की बात होगी, लेकिन अपने घर पे बैठे ऑनलाइन क्लासेस की हेल्प से वो लोग भी इजीली एजुकेशन अवेल कर सकते हैं। जो लोग इकोनॉमिकली वीक हैं उनके लिए ऑफलाइन क्लासेस बहुत कॉस्टली है, और स्पेशली उन लोगों के लिए जो रूरल बैकग्राउंड से बिलोंग करते हैं, क्योंकि उनके आसपास के एरिया में उतने बड़े स्कूल, कॉलेज, यूनिवर्सिटीज उपलब्ध नहीं है। आप समझ सकते हैं कि किसी नई जगह पे जाना, वहाँ पे रहने का खर्चा, पढ़ाई का खर्चा उन लोगों के लिए बियर करना कितना मुश्किल हो सकता है। ऑल्सो दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने भी आरटीई के अंदर ये प्रोविजन दिया है कि गवर्नमेंट स्कूल और प्राइवेट स्कूल जो पुअर स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको इंटरनेट एक्सेस प्रोवाइड करेंगी फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, और साथ ही साथ उनको इक्विपमेंट्स भी प्रोवाइड करेंगी कि वो ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन अवेल कर सके। गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत सारे इनिशिएटिव चलाए हुए हैं। आपके मन में क्वेश्चन होगा कि सबके पास तो इंटरनेट एक्सेस नहीं है, सबके पास इक्विपमेंट्स नहीं है, बट उसके लिए भी गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत सारे इनिशिएटिव चलाए हुए हैं। गवर्नमेंट लैपटॉप्स और टैबलेट्स जो उनके स्कॉलर स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, पुअर स्टूडेंट्स हैं, उनको देती है, बिकॉज दे अंडरस्टैंड द नीड ऑफ ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन। हम ऐसे दौर में जी रहे हैं जहाँ पे इंडिया ने 5G लॉन्च किया है, और अभी तक हम इस डिबेट पे अटके कि ऑनलाइन वर्सेस ऑफलाइन सही है या नहीं। 5G के दौर में ऑफलाइन क्लासेस पे सीमित रहना क्या सही लगता है आप लोगों को? आपने फिजिक्स वाला का नाम सुना होगा, वो 101st यूनिकॉर्न बना। यूनिकॉर्न का मतलब आप जान सकते हैं कि कितनी बड़ी कंपनी होगी। हम एक ऐसे दौर में जी रहे हैं जहाँ पे एक एडटेक कंपनी 101st यूनिकॉर्न बन रही है। इसका मतलब सभी ऑनलाइन क्लासेस को एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं, सभी के लिए वो सूटेबल है, सभी के लिए वो कंफर्टेबल है।
Notion of democracy is that under that the weakest section of society have same opportunities as the strongest. In that sense, the whole discourse, the whole notion of this debate, online classes versus offline classes, is baseless, because we are still living in a country where digital divide is still existing, still prevalent and still visible. Then how we can say that? How we can advocate for the online classes? My friend strongly advocate for online classes. She said that we are becoming digital. The world is becoming global. And I want to ask her very relevant question. Whose India is becoming global? Whose India is becoming digital? Which village is becoming global? This is the question we should ask. According to the data provided by ITU, there is 43% of the population of India can use internet, can access internet. That means 57% of Indian population can access internet. And also, there is a data provided by National Family Health Survey which state that there is a considerable gender divide in internet usage. Only 57.1% of men can use internet, only 33.1% of women can only use the internet. There is also urban-rural divide between using the internet. If we are discussing about students, only in India, according to the data provided by NCERT, only 27% of students lack mobile phone. Only 24% of the households have internet connection according to the data provided by UNICEF. Then how we can say that we reached at a digital era? We are not reached at a digital era. We are still facing the digital divide. I want to remind the word digital divide. Digital divide refers the gap between the people who have the access to internet and information technology and the people who don't have. Then, if you are advocating for online classes, that means you are not considering about the weakest section of the society. You are not considering about the marginalized section of the society. You don't have any kind of concern towards the women, disabled, rural people. You are only thinking about the elite class people. You are only thinking about the privileged even the infrastructure also. This is the democracy for you? This is the largest democracy offers you? Not. And my second point, my friend is said that anyone, anytime, anywhere, anyone can access the internet. I want to remind, you can see the number of struggles, the number of protests, the number of movements in the history of mankind done by women to demand the public spaces. For them, the public schools, colleges, campuses are the public space which expand their knowledge, which expand their world, which expand their knowledge of horizons. But through the online education, you are trying to force them to stay at home. There is a theory of Habermas. He is saying that public space is only confined to few educated men and elite class women. So I want to say that through the online education, you are confined women to the shackles of the patriarchy. We are still living in a country where thousands and thousands women are only allowed to be step out from the home in the sake of education. So I am worried that through the online education, you are using online education as tool for trapped women, disabled and rural people to stay at home, to force them to stay at home. And she also said about the self-actualization. She said that we can learn as many courses at one time. As per our interest, we can learn so many courses at one time. But I want to say that we are not robots. We are just animals. We are just social animals. We can only live with the interaction with the people. We cannot live without the interaction. The schools and classes are the basic institution which provide the socialization. You think about the students. You are thinking about the child who are studying in one standard or second standard. For them, online classes is not possible at any way. The basic institution which help them to learning is the schools. Schools and classes are not only for studying. It is an environment, it is a learning environment where we can study many things, we can study language, different cultures, different experiences. And after the graduation or post-graduation, whether it be through the online or offline, you are going to face the real world, which is entirely different from the virtual world. And how will you deal that real world? Dealing real world problem is same like that. It would be same like that. Recruiting people to army through the PUBG games. It would be kind of disaster like that. Through the virtual world of experience. And I want to say that online education is causing so many mental health problems. During the COVID time, so many number of students from Kerala, students from Karnataka, students from Northern India are died by suicide because they cannot afford the online education. We are still struggling with so many socio-economic problems. And it also causes mental pressure, depression. Students are off their camera and they will do their works. They cannot handle the pressure the online classes are providing. They are facing with depression, anxiety. They don't have even to share their problems. These online classes are offering to us. So I want to say that we cannot replace offline classes with online classes. Maybe online classes can complement offline classes, but we cannot replace it with it. So, because offline classes is necessary need for the current socio-economic political structure of India. Thank you.
How many of you took guidance from your gurus for preparation of this debate? How many of you went to your... I am present here in my debate, in this debate. But if I want to attend that webinar, after completing my discussion, I can join that webinar just by sitting in this room only. This is the beauty of online education, which we can implement in our further, in our lives or in our discussions. So that's all. With all this, I want to wrap up my words that it is not the matter of which one is better. It is the matter of how to use things effectively. at how to learn or how to adapt in this change. So that shows this.
जो कि हिंदी जो सरकारी स्कूल थे पूरे देश के, उनकी शिक्षा पूरी तरीके से 2 साल बाधित रही है। मैंने नहीं देखा, सिर्फ और सिर्फ आपका जो इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल थे उनको कहीं ना कहीं शिक्षा से वो वंचित नहीं हुए, अन्यथा जो आपके सरकारी स्कूल थे सारे के सारे वंचित रहे। एक हमारा संविधान कहता है आर्टिकल नंबर 14 राइट टू इक्वलिटी, क्या हमारा ये ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन राइट टू इक्वलिटी को प्रिवेल करता है? बिल्कुल नहीं करता है। यहाँ गरीब और अमीर में एक बहुत बड़ा गैप है। उसके अलावा एक और मैं कहना चाहूंगा, जेंडर गैप। हमारे देश में कितनी महिलाएं, आज की जो जनरेशन के जो बच्चे हैं उनके कितने अभिभावक हैं जो कि ऑनलाइन गैजेट्स में इतने पारंगत हैं, उनको चलाने में, उनको सीखने में, उनको यूज करने में। और इसके अलावा भी एक मनोवैज्ञानिक कारण बहुत बड़ा है इन ऑनलाइन गैजेट्स का, ऑनलाइन कक्षाओं का, जो कि विकार पैदा कर रहा है छात्र और छात्राओं के ऊपर। कोविड-19 पैंडेमिक के दौरान सबसे ज्यादा अगर किसी वर्ग को नुकसान हुआ है इस ऑनलाइन गैजेट से तो वो हमारे छात्र वर्ग रहे हैं। इनको डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी, क्योंकि जहाँ से मैं इलाहाबाद विश्वविद्यालय का पहले छात्र रहा हूँ, तो वहाँ पे एक काउंसलिंग सेंटर है साइकेट्रिस्ट का। तो 2020 में वहाँ पे एक नेहरू बाल विकार ऐसे एक सेंटर है वहाँ पे सबसे ज्यादा जो लाइन लगती थी सुबह से लेकर शाम तक, वहाँ पे बच्चों की लाइन लगती थी और पेरेंट्स साथ में होते तो उनका एक ही कहना होता था कि हमारे बच्चे को फोन की लत लग गई है। क्या हम इससे निपटने के लिए हम अपने आप को तैयार कर रहे हैं? मुझे नहीं लगता हम अपने आप को इससे निपटने के लिए तैयार कर रहे हैं। उसके बाद एक और कारण होता है सोशलाइजेशन। आप बच्चों का समाजीकरण कैसे करेंगे? क्या एक चार दीवारी में बच्चों को अकेले वो समाजीकरण उसका हो सकता है? बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता। जब वो अपने, हम कहते हैं एक साइकोलॉजी में बोला जाता है कि पीयर ग्रुप हमारे डेवलपमेंट के लिए बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट कारक होता है। हम पीयर ग्रुप से नहीं मिलेंगे, हम अपने शिक्षकों से इंटरेक्शन नहीं होगा, हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ कुछ किताबों के और पीडीएफ और क्या कहते हैं कि हम अपने गैजेट से रहेंगे तो हमारा सोशलाइजेशन कैसे होगा? हम किताबी ज्ञान तो ले सकते हैं, परंतु हम जो चरित्र निर्माण जो हमारा होता है, जो कि हमारे स्कूल में होता है, जो हमारा खेल के मैदान में होता है, वो हमारा कैसे होगा? सोशलाइजेशन हमारा पूरी तरीके से हैम्पर होगा। उसके बाद एक जो बहुत बड़ा कारण मुझे लगता है ऑनलाइन जो कक्षाएं हैं वो एक बधित दे रही है ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट। हमारा देश का विश्व का दूसरी सबसे बड़ा आबादी वाला देश है। आप ऑनलाइन कक्षाओं में रूपांतरित कर रहे हैं। आप जो हम इतनी बड़ी जनसंख्या हो रही है, इसको आप उपयोग कैसे करेंगे? ये आप क्या सड़कों में टहलेगी? क्या ये आप इसको डिग्री बांटेंगे फिर आप इसको यूज कैसे करेंगे? आप आज की डेट में बेरोजगारी फैल रही है। आप ऑनलाइन कक्षाओं, आप ऑफलाइन कक्षाओं को ऑनलाइन में परिवर्तित कर रहे हैं। जहां पे आप 10 शिक्षकों की जरूरत है, आप उसको सिर्फ एक शिक्षक के माध्यम से उसको चला रहे हैं। आप 9 लोगों को रोजगार कहां से देंगे? उनका जीवन यापन कैसे होगा? उसके अलावा हमारे कई सारे दोस्तों ने कहा कि जो हमारा जो शिक्षा है वो ऑनलाइन के माध्यम से ज्यादा उसका ग्लोबलाइजेशन मतलब भूमंडलीकरण ज्यादा है। मित्रों, आप जरा प्राचीन काल के इतिहास में भारत की शिक्षा का जो उत्थान है वो देखें। मैं बिल्कुल भी मुझे इसमें घबराहट नहीं है, बिल्कुल मुझे संकोच नहीं है। पहले की हमारी शिक्षा थी वो ज्यादा उन्नति और विशेष थी और ज्यादा उसको एक विशेषता प्राप्त थी पूरे विश्व में। पहले आपके इतने बड़े बड़े विशेषज्ञ पाए जाते हैं, चाहे वो कल्याण हो, चाहे वो शिक्षा शास्त्र में हो, चाहे वो हेल्थ के क्षेत्र में हो, हर जगह हमारे क्षेत्र में विशेषज्ञ थे। लेकिन आज हमें कितने वर्षों में कितने नोबेल प्राइज मिले हैं आप बता सकते हैं? आप फिंगर
It is that people are sugarcoating the words because of online students are doing suicide, because of offline students are doing suicide. There is nothing like that. Students are doing suicide online also and offline also. There are some issues for that students. The problem is mentality, health. People don't speak with each other. They don't solve problem with each other.
For which I am supporting. Offline mode is more convenience when it comes to time and test management. Because in online mode, generally what happens, we just teach students and we just tell them that this thing happened, that thing happened, and it gone. But in time and test method, your teacher will get time to understand you. Ki what is your problem? What is the actual issue? Someone said that Tare Zameen Par is a good movie example. Why it happened? Because of offline class. He understands that this student is having dyslexia. Then they came to a result ki okay, this can be solved like this. But reality is the fact is that the socialization is happen when we come out of our shell. We speak with others. We try to understand problem of each other. When we speak and when we solve the problem, that time it comes that we are more socialized.